Hello and welcome to another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. My name is Adam. I am the community manager of Franchise Hockey. With me, as always, and not pictured on your screen, well, digitally pictured on your screen, is FHM producer Jeff. Say hi, Jeff.
Hey, everybody.
And we are back with the good, the bad, and the ugly. The Vancouver Canucks 2023-2024 season continued. Planning versus execution. Although I just about named this particular stream, We Plan and Jeff Laughs.
Yeah,
I think that would be appropriate.
so basically what's happened here. We're in the is it their third year now of the Canucks rebuild,
Sounds about right.
and this is just going back to the last two seasons. That's what we've done. What we've done so far. Slow improvement, not really spectacular. I would have liked to have moved along a little bit faster than this, and even this off season was a bit of a disappointment. I didn't get quite as much development as I was hoping for. But somehow we are 15-9-2 to start the season, so that worked out a little better than expected. I'm gonna just switch to the list view for a second. We did run into this thing here, a 6-game losing streak, most of which was in the middle of first 5 games of a homestand, which shouldn't have happened, but we seem to have turned that around a little bit. Haven't made any major changes since the start of the season. We've got a little problem right now. Pedersen's out with a black eye day to day, so not a huge deal, but he's going to miss, looks like, tonight's game against Colorado. The other worrying thing right here, Cal Foote, who's been our number 7 defenseman, has apparently dropped down to 2-star, 1.5 stars, and only 2 stars potential. So it looks like that experiment is never going to work out. So we do have Alex Cotton sitting down on the farm while he's temporarily injured, who's looking like a much better prospect at this point. And Haniak, I think it was our first draft pick last year, first or second rounder. He was having a pretty good season in Prince George, but we're still a little thin behind him. The big problem when we came into this was the absolutely empty prospect pool. We've turned that around quite a bit. If I go to the prospect rankings for teams, we are now 9th overall. Still don't really have any new superstars coming, although Brad Lambert, our first rounder from 2 years ago, has made the lineup this year, and he had a pretty good season in WHL last year, and he's off to an okay season, an okay start with us. I think those 11 points in 26 games, 2 or 3 of that was in the first game, so he's hasn't gone quite as fast since then. But all in all, not too bad. So I think I'm just going to get this moved along. Since Pedersen's only out for the 1 game, I am going to put in Rasmussen, but what I'll do is have the AI do the lines on the game screen rather than doing it on the main screen, which will permanently reset them. But we'll just shuffle them around for this 1 game, so we don't have Rasmussen playing in the middle for on the first line for Pedersen. And is Demko healthy? Yeah, Demko is rested. And we're just going to sim these. And nice, 5-0 win. And against Colorado, too. Very nice. Any predictions on the playoffs, Adam? The real ones?
Playoffs. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, all right. Jets didn't make it, neither did the Canucks now. Geez, I got 2 injuries here. Oh,
Actually,
great.
I don't worry. If you want me to go on a rant for like 5 minutes, I can about that. Did you put Cal Foote on the trade block? Because I feel like that's something probably best to do.
I can, but I'm not really expecting to get anything for him. And the problem is, okay, Capobianco's got to go on the injured list. Yeah, this is really messed up now. And Morgan Frost, who was a waiver pickup in the or at the start of the year, who's been playing really well for us, is gone for 2 weeks. So Capobianco is gone for a while. We are going to have to call Cotton back up, and he'll probably go into the lineup ahead of Foot. And what have I got? Geez, just Wu and Brisebois. Goyaev's actually playing pretty well for a rookie. Yeah, 19-year-old rookie in the AHL. It's pretty good. Okay. I'm going to assume we're going to get Pedersen back relatively quickly. If not, we may have to call somebody up.
Okay, while you're continuing on there,
Yeah.
to me, the biggest surprise, I guess, then was the absolute blowout of Toronto and Tampa Bay.
Yeah, although Tampa's looks like they turned it around tonight. They were up 3-1 last I saw.
Yes. Yeah, they've played significantly better.
And great. Zagorodny would be one of the guys that I would be looking at calling up. Fractured fibula, 3 to 4 months. So he's not. Oh, geez. And Cotton was injured? I didn't realize that. Oh, it's just day to day. Okay. And speaking of Tampa Bay, we got them next. So Cheveldayoff got a new contract in Winnipeg, eh?
I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so you want me to go on a Jets rant here? Here's my Jets rant for
Jets rant.
anyone.
Get...
Okay, so there has been lots of speculation about a lot of things, and basically, I think it's fairly well known that they need a coaching change. They didn't come out and say everyone's fired, but they said
they've changed
the assistants are expiring contracts and they're welcome to look for other jobs.
Oh, I thought they actually let them go. They're just not renewing.
Well, they said if a new coach wants them back, they said they wouldn't say no. It was basically what, but it doesn't sound like they really want anyone back. They have re-signed the goaltending coach, which makes 100% Wade Flaherty, because he's done a great job.
Former Kelowna wing Wade Flaherty.
And so now it's like, okay, who do they want to coach? And okay, so people are upset about Kevin Cheveldayoff. And my first thought on that is, okay, last offseason, people were so excited about this team because they reinforced the defense, which people thought was, one of the weaknesses of the Winnipeg Jets. They brought in Brendan Dillon and they brought in Nate Schmidt, who were clearly upgrades over like Forbert and, Tucker Poolman. Yeah. So how could it not be better? Like, let's be honest there, right? Like, everything about that should have been better. But for whatever reason, it didn't work out. Now there's been speculation. Scheifele's came out and said he needs to think about his future, which I think more he's looking and going, okay, well, if this is going to be a full-on rebuild, he doesn't want to be a part of it. Or if he gets a coach, he's not doing whatever. Okay, you know what? Scheifele did not have a good year this year. He looked terrible. He hasn't been the same player since the hit with Jake Evans last year. He's looked a little bit shook. And so you can say what you want about, but that definitely affected some of his play. So, okay, you got that going on. If he wants out, okay, there's no way the Winnipeg Jets win that trade. If apparently Hellebuck's saying he wants to stay, he likes, everything. They said some of the COVID stuff they think kind of, made some guys a little bit tough. Question in the chat from Laura, and then a bunch of letters says, what game is this? This game is Franchise Hockey Manager 8. You are watching on our official channel. We're developed from OTP Developments.
And we've got a ton of injuries here now. Horvat is gone for a couple of weeks. One thing I just saw on popped up in the news: Tampa Bay got Stamkos, is putting Stamkos on the trade block. He's still at 4 stars. He's 33 now, and he's in the last year of a big contract. But he's done absolutely nothing. Well, next to nothing this year. 9 points in 22 games. So that's, I mean, would definitely help with our scoring issues.
Yes. So I'm going to continue here. So,
Yeah.
okay. So team didn't work out as well as they hoped. Okay, whatever. Life happens. Things sometimes just don't work out like you want them to. Uh, so the Jets are kind of stuck in the middle gear while they need to find a new coach. I'm not super excited because Elliot Friedman reported apparently that their two names that keep coming up are Scott Arniel and Randy Carlyle. Although who knows, maybe Carlyle is the kick in the butt these guys need if he brings in the right defensive guy. I don't know. Not probably my top choices.
So you're only hiring former Jets now?
Well, they said, guys connection to the city, whatever. Okay, Chipman likes connecting with Jets 1.0 guys, so okay, fine. Don't forget, Chipman also had previously had both these guys as head coaches with the Moose.
Yep.
Carlisle began his coaching career with the Moose, and so did Scott Arniel. But so they need a coach, and that coach will help determine where this team's going to go, and it's going to help determine where a lot of players go. But then people are upset that they're not playing, their prospects. Well, they brought in other guys to keep their prospects going. Watching Dylan Samberg, though, he's ready to play. I think Villahinola probably is too, but it's finding the right fit for him, and hopefully, he's not picking up bad habits. I'm really excited to see what the Moose do in the playoffs this year, because that's going to be good for those guys. But what's driving me insane, absolutely insane right now, and Jeff, I'm sorry, this is going to sound bad to you, is, again, came out Rutherford saying, what was it? He wants, or they're only willing to sign Bruce Boudreau for 1 year.
Yeah.
And kind of, wants him to prove he can do it again, which is fine. I hope he sticks in Vancouver. But the fact people in Winnipeg are clamoring for him drives me absolutely bonkers. He is not a coach I want to coach my favorite team.
Well, he did fine with us this year.
Yeah, he does fine in the regular season. He's a good regular season coach. But for a team that wants to run deep in the playoffs, he's not the guy. I'm sorry.
Well, you got to make the playoffs to go deep in the playoffs.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, he's okay. He won when he was coaching in the minors, and since then, okay, looking at his stats, pulling up on Wikipedia, finishes first in the Southeast East Division in 2007, 2008, loses in the quarterfinals. Finishes first the next year, loses in the semifinals, loses in the conference quarterfinals, loses in the conference semifinals, gets fired by Washington, goes to Anaheim, misses the playoffs, loses in the conference quarterfinals, loses in the second round, loses in the conference finals, loses in the first round, loses in the first round, loses in the first round, misses the playoffs. Why do you want to hire a guy who can't win in the playoffs? It drives me insane. Find somebody who can do it, or give a young guy a chance. I don't care. Again, Randy Carlyle might not be the guy, but at least he's won a Stanley Cup. He knows how to get there. He knows how to push guys to get there. I don't believe Bruce Boudreau knows how to do that. And you look at those Washington teams he had in the late 2000s, before 2010. Those teams should have went further than they did. And so it just drives me insane when people say they want him. I do not like it. I do not want... He would be one of the worst hires they could make. Anyways, end of rant. Jets need to hire a new coach, and that'll determine pretty much everything else. Find somebody.
And we have now lost 4 in a row here, thanks to all these injuries that are piling up. Did we have any to... Oh, yeah, I forgot we had Dickinson's fractured hip. That's another guy that's out of our lineup. So I did call up Bourgeau.
Seems like you need to fire the trainer.
Yeah. We do have a trainer, right?
I don't know. I was just saying, it probably sounds like you need to fire.
Yeah, we do have a trainer, just making sure. Well, Horvat is... At least there are relatively minor injuries other than the Capobianco one and the one that already happened to Dickinson. But I had to send Foot down, and we're playing with only 6 defensemen on the roster right now, just to make roster space to have enough guys to... After I called up Bourgeau to fill up the lineup. Okay, Pedersen's going to be a little tired for this game, but best option we got, and we at least got a point out of it. We lose 4-3 to Boston, although Brad Lambert with 3 points. So good night for the rookie, at least. But we're really sliding backwards here now. We're 35 points. I think we're still in, third in the division. Oh, it looks like the rest of the division's terrible, so that helps. Okay, Frost.
Yeah, that has to help.
Geez, we had a lot of guys wearing down, and the Skeds seem to be playing quite often at this point in the year. Hopefully we get a few days off later in the season. We're going every other day here, and I think that's not helping the fatigue situation much. Okay, San Jose. Oh boy, Pedersen's really tired. Give him one more game. Hopefully we've got a few days off here. If not, and we get a 3-2 win, and Lambert with 2 more points. So since I moved Lambert up to that second line,
starting to produce.
Yeah, what's his game-by-game log looking like? Yeah, the ice time goes up here. First couple of games aren't that great, but he's putting up a ton of shots. 5 shots, 4 shots, 3 shots, 9 shots. So it looks like he is effective there, although he's still only 2 stars. Or 2.5 stars. That's the general one. Our scouts say 2.5.
Jay Illich said Tampa 153. We are streaming this live on Wednesday night on May 4th. So, yes, we're looking at live scores as they're happening. If you're watching this on, a replay, whether it's Sunday or another day entirely. Yeah. Like, that series is already over. It was over 3 years ago. Why are you talking about it? Well, now you know.
By the way, is the Steam channel, Steam channel, that's what I was going to ask. Did that come up okay?
Yep, the Steam page is still working, yes. Yes,
but
we're currently streaming live on our Steam page. We are currently streaming live on twitch.tv/franchise hockey manager and twitch.tv/OOTP developments.
Yeah, we normally do it on all 3 places at once, but the Steam one, for some reason, I think it's on Steam's end, has failed the last couple of times I've tried it. But seems to be good tonight so far, knock on wood. Nobody in the scoring leaders. Demko's in the top 10 in wins, at least. Okay, looks like we got Morgan Frost back, so that's good. Is he? Yep, he's full health too, and Pedersen's rested. Okay. So Frost goes in. Who goes out? Looks like it's going to have to be Bourgeau. And Cotton hasn't really done much since being called up, but really the best we've got. The injured list. Okay, nobody's coming off that anytime soon, and Horvat is still day-to-day with a sore back. I'm actually going to keep Lambert on the second line. He's doing reasonably well there. And bring Frost back a little more slowly. And we get crushed 5-2 by Minnesota. December is not going well.
Not as well as you want.
I mean, this is kind of what I expect us to be like looking at the team at the start of the year, but we had a good start, and then went into that long slump, and now we're going into another one, but we've had a couple of periods where we've been doing really well, and we're still better than most of the teams in the division. Although that could tighten up if somebody turns it around.
You're just hoping.
Here's what you want to see. Winnipeg loses Shifley to injury. Torn ACL. Out for 7 months. But we are getting Horvat back.
So what you're saying is you want to go trade for Shifley?
And Frost is in for 1 day and he lacerates his shin.
Awesome.
There's Bershaw. Okay, I'm going to try DiPietro on goal against San Jose, see if they do better in front of the backup. And they do, 6-0 shutout, and DiPietro makes 36 saves. And Lambert gets a hat trick. So yeah, I think I am leaving him on the second line.
Nice.
That's been the one positive thing out of this month. I was wondering if he was ever really going to hit that 4.5 star potential, or is it 4?
Well, something like that. I can't remember.
Looks like he might make it. Yeah, we should be getting the end of the year report shortly. See if any of our guys gets mentioned. Not really counting on it. Phil Kessel's still in the league. 3.5 stars too, and although Arizona's trying to trade him. I think I'll pass on just out of curiosity.
They re-signed him then, I guess, huh?
Yeah, 1-year deal for $4.7 million. But
By like 3/4 of their cap, huh?
Yeah, he's in the trading block, and yeah, him and Stamkos are the two big names.
Is his Iron Man streak intact?
No, it is not. Looks like he only played 64 games. Last year, wow, only 37 points. He was lucky to get that contract. If we can turn this around a little bit in the next month or two, just to maybe take a look at picking up Stamkos for the playoffs. Although Tampa's above 500, but they're last in the division. Okay, first rounders. Hopefully we're not picking that high. Looks like Gendron from the Q is #1 overall. And looking a little farther, a possible first overall goalie for 2025.
Interesting.
And the player poll. Not seeing any Canucks. Pierre-Luc Dubois, most overrated player in the league.
I don't know about that.
Hellebuck got toughest goalie to beat.
I do believe that.
Okay, anybody who need to rest? Doesn't look like it. Stay with this lineup. Demko will start. It's Calgary, who I think was last in the division. Wow, yeah, 11-20-6, and we blow them out 7-0. Besser with 4 points. Bourgeois with 3, and I think that's off the third line. Nice. And it will probably take an extra second or two to get over to the new year. There's few housekeeping things that have to happen on January 1st every year. So it'll be a little bit longer than a normal day-to-day sim here. Just looking around the league at what's going on. Oh, no, faster than I expected. And are we... Nope, we've got nobody in the top 20 jersey sales in the league.
I mean, is that really a surprise?
Eh. And development report. Okay, Eliasson still stuck at 2 stars. Hoping one of those 2 goalies in Abbotsford would take a step forward. Connor Lockhart off to an okay-ish rookie year in the AHL. Stenberg, the guy we took from Sweden last year, is up to 2 stars. He's only got 3 potential, but good news that he's at 2 stars at 18 already. And Tyler Peddle, our first rounder, continuing to develop. Andrew Crystal, another first rounder, 2 stars. Wow, a lot of these guys are. Well, in our traditional pick, we've had him in what, the last 3, I think we've had him in every stream game we've done since FHM 6, Liam Arnsby.
Yeah, something like that.
Who's what?
He's been here since Quebec.
Look at the point total with North Bay.
He's doing well.
Yeah,
in his
sent it down as an overager this year, 52 points in 29 games. And anybody going down, just Dickinson, the guy that's injured. What was that?
So he wants to prove he was worth that late round pick.
And yeah, looks like he's leading the league. Guelph, 26, 1 and 2 to start the season. What's going on there? Oh, it's a couple of really good overagers. And no, the goaltending doesn't look that good. Just a lot of scoring, I guess. Well, oh, got to set our monthly budget. Yeah, we can still afford the scouting. Points continuing to go up. Yeah, looks like that's on track. Team morale, gonna bump it up a little bit after that losing streak. And I think attendance is doing okay, so I'll leave that as it is. So you seem to have ended that little losing streak at least. And we're actually in second in the division now. And Arizona dead last in the league still. And a new nationalities report, probably nothing too interesting there. This is just guys who've been playing somewhere for a while, get an extra nationality attached to them. This isn't, they're not necessarily going to play internationally for them yet. But now they have the option of switching at some point. So mostly a lot of Americans. Looks like Luke Shen picked up. He's pretty much out of hockey at this point, though. Picked up an American nationality. Anybody else? Not really. Jake Chelios. He should have had that already. He played in the Olympics for China. Oh, I think we may have started. Yeah, we started this game before that happened. And great, who's hurt now? Cotton day to day, and now I'm going to have to send somebody down and call somebody else up to make room for him. Oh, at least Horvat's ready though. So Horvat comes in. Bourgeot can go back down then. Okay, Footless is now showing back up 2 stars again. What does he do if I call him up? Yeah, I don't know
No,
why
he was always at 2 stars. He dropped down to 2 stars.
but no, he was last time when I sent him down, he was at 1.5 stars ability and
2 star
2 stars
potential.
potential. Now he's back at 2 stars. So scouts just being indecisive about what they think about him, I guess.
Keep him on the trade block.
Yeah, I'm gonna try putting Foligno back in. I picked him up as sort of veteran leadership last year and did okay, but he's sort of fallen apart this season.
Newhouser says the Utes are going to be there for a long time. This is their second season in the Arizona State University facility.
Yeah, still trying to figure out what to do about that in the game. Uh, assuming they actually go ahead with it, because that'll really mess up their finances if we force them into a small arena for 2 years.
Well, there's no guarantee that they're going to be there even, I mean, have a building built in 2 years. So they don't even have the agreement yet for that.
Oh, wonderful.
I mean, more likely than anything, they'll probably end up getting moved to Houston.
Well, how many times we've said more than it's likely that they were going to be moving somewhere and they haven't.
Well, that's because people keep saying Quebec. It's not going to be Quebec.
And we lose
Newhouser
5-3 to St. Louis. Go ahead.
And Newhouser asks, is Trent Cull still Abbotsford's head coach?
Yep, and they're actually in the playoffs. Oh, in the game, you mean?
Yeah.
Hang on, let me look.
I have no idea which.
Oh, no, it looks like he got fired. Well, apparently not.
Unemployed.
Coaching Abbotsford. Andrew Burnett.
Oh. Fell off from Florida.
Yeah. Yeah, at least we got one Canucks team in the playoffs. Although this one looks like they're going to finally make it. Couple of 2.5-star guys getting waived, but probably nobody I want to grab. Oh, geez, Foot's fitness is way down. And we get shut out 5-0 by Chicago.
I saw TSN is broadcasting the Manitoba Moose home playoff games.
What, nationally?
I don't know if nationally, but at least in this market.
That would make sense for you guys.
Still surprised. But they could be nationally because I think TSN has the rights for AHL stuff, so.
Okay, geez, Foot. Should be almost back. Yeah, there we go. I think we're back. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we're back. Sorry about that, everybody. My internet decided to go
ahead. Sorry.
Dead all of a sudden. So we're just going to get that.
Things happen, Jeff.
Yeah, don't know what that was. And we do have a trade offer from the Jets for Cal Foot. But it's for Austin Wong.
Yeah, probably not a trade offer you want to make.
Yeah, who's got all of 8 points in 38 games in the AHL this year, 10 points last year. Yeah, that's not making any sense. And I don't think we really missed anything there. I hadn't played the game against Carolina yet. I think we caught that one quick enough, although I've slipped back into fourth in the division. That's not good. And Frost is healthy, so who do I take out here? Oh, back to taking Foligno out. And who's been playing? Looks like Rasmussen's been playing slightly better than Kuokkanen, so go with that. And try Lambert on the third line.
All right. Just sent out a tweet in case anyone hopped off when they weren't sure what was going on.
And we lose again. Carolina this time. Although we outshot them 44-37. What's going wrong here? Oh, geez, that's what's going wrong with those defensive game ratings.
That's pretty terrible.
One line showed up. Well, second and third lines actually didn't do too badly, and everybody else pretty much stopped playing defense. So we probably slid back maybe even a little further now.
It was the Winnipeg game plan. No defense.
Speaking of Winnipeg, I wonder how they're doing without Scheifele. Oh, third place in the division. 4 points ahead of us.
They keep drafting enough centers. I mean, in real life, they've sure brought in a lot more draft picks to help shore up the moose for the playoff run, too.
Can't remember what they've done in this game, what the roster looks like at this point. Lowry's there. They got Mark Jankowski.
Let me see. I'll tell you. Hellebuck and Burden, Morrissey, Kovacic, Sandberg, Pionk, Nate Schmidt is still there. Chisholm, Guanke.
Fetty, Fetty
Kopp
looks
never
like it's worked out
left.
pretty well for them. So they've still got Schmidt.
Yeah, Connor's there. Vesalainen, Nate Smith.
Looks like they
is
could use
playing.
another defenseman, but
Airfleet Dubois, Christian Reichel. Yeah, all right.
and the big problem,
Blake
Scheifele
Wheeler.
out indefinitely, and looks like Andrew Koss been out for a bit too.
Nikolai Ehlers, Cole Perfetti.
Cotton is healthy, so I can put him back in for Foot, even if he's going to be a little tired in this game.
So, Jeff, as we're looking at the prospects here and thinking about it, what do you think about some of the new NHL rules with the Europeans that have come up too now? Huh?
Which rules?
Well, they said Sweden now, for anyone who was not first round drafted, has to go and has a contract has to go back to Sweden under 24.
What, they can't
is an
send?
increase.
I didn't see that. We're going to have to make some changes.
Yeah, and then this is one that I'm maybe surprising you on, but I think it's an interesting one that I'm sure we'll be getting questions on is the harsh penalties both Finland and Sweden have put on anyone going to the KHL.
Yeah, I think that's not really surprising. The way we've got it set up in the game now, it won't show up in this game because it was we started this one before the last big update, but you'll notice if you start a new game now and play the KHL in a few years, there'll be very few foreign players. So I think we got that right at least.
Well, they said Sweden and Finland, if you're not familiar in watching this, announced that anyone who goes to the KHL will be excluded from all world events. including World Championships, Olympics, etc.
And it's actually not going to affect that many guys. There were a couple that stayed, but there was a pretty big exodus from the KHL at the end of the year. A lot of guys leaving, even though they still had contracts in place. So,
kind of expect.
Yeah. And considering if they're getting paid in rubles, how much those are worth now, I wouldn't expect to be seeing a lot of guys moving over there in the off season.
Yeah. Well, the CHL has also banned Russians from the import draft.
Yeah, they were talking about that. Did they do Belarusians too, or is it just Russians?
Belarusians might have got it too, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
And win one, lose one. Now this time to Montreal, who Carey Price still playing for Montreal into 2024. But at least we're not going on a long losing streak now. But still, this isn't great because we've slipped back down to the 5th in the division. We're actually out of a playoff spot now, I think.
Say this in our FHM chat.
Seattle makes an offer for Foot. Oh, that's interesting.
What did they offer?
19-year-old defenseman, Czech defenseman Thomas Amara, who was their 4th rounder a couple of years ago. He played in Finland. Played in Finland last year. Or for a few
Thanks
years.
for coming out.
And looks like he started the season in the ECHL, but he got called up to the AHL, and he's actually been playing really well. 6 points in 7 games. 3-star potential, so Foot was down to 2.5, isn't he? Yeah, so it doesn't really help us now, but I think that's a better long-term prospect. I think I'm going to do that. Just to make sure he's not on a weird contract or anything. Nope, standard DLC. Yeah, I'll take that. And he's going down to Abbotsford, and we're going to have to bring one of the Abbotsford guys up as a 7th defenseman, which isn't great because none of them have really been progressing that much, but now maybe this will help them. It's either Wu or Brisbois. Would be Goliath, but he apparently is hurt. Oh, Yurmio is... there's about 3 or 4 guys that are fairly close. Yurmo. We'll bring up Wu just so you can do that thing.
Just so I can do what? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Where's his brother at, anyways?
What's the brother's name? I got...
What is the brother's name? He just got drafted by the Ice.
Position? Another defense?
I think he's a forward.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's...
I'm just trying to... I'm looking at... Jonas. Is he not in the game? He might not be in the game, I guess. If he just got drafted, he'd only be 15. Could he be looking while I'll be watching?
Oh, in the WHL draft, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Serranus, we stream every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, so
he would have gone in
welcome to
at
come.
the
December update.
Yeah, December update, because the WHL did their expansion, their abandoned draft lottery later this year. And Wu wants the number Foot was wearing, so sure.
So aren't you glad you put him on the trade block?
Well, I mean, it's not a spectacular deal, but it probably helps us a little bit in the long term.
Okay, hold on. Take the guy you just got and shop him.
Why would I do that?
Humor me for a second, Jeff.
No, he's a young guy. He's on the first year of
Jeff,
the 3-year
humor
contract.
me. Humor me. I don't ask for much.
5-2 win over Seattle. Okay. Well, third rounder's back, but he was a fourth rounder, and he's progressed a little better than that since then. Did you get something other than third round picks?
I didn't get the offer on my game, so. Although I'm not as far as you. I started piling up more injuries, and
That's all third round picks. I'd rather have him.
that's fair enough.
So I don't think what we were getting in the third round was any better than what he is, and he's already had some solid development.
I was just saying, you could have turned. So essentially, you got Foot, who you got on waivers, and you could have got a third round pick for him. Overall, that's not bad.
And Patrice Bergeron possibly retiring. And looks like, what's going on with Seattle anyhow? Are they? Yeah, they're still near the bottom of the division. Have they evolved any in the last couple of years? Still got Giordano, who's 40 years old. Still playing. They picked up Bristol Line at one point. Or this year, it looks like. And a few young guys, but it's still mostly the expansion team, looks like. And Foot is playing regularly for them. Let's see. Can we actually win 2 games in a row?
Better than what they are.
No, we cannot. 2-1 loss to Anaheim. Really, I think this team is 1 year farther away. So, as we're getting closer to the trading deadline, I don't think I'm going to be grabbing any rentals, even though we might sneak into the playoffs.
Go all in, Jeff. Trade away all your first round picks.
Speaking of picks, how many do I have this year?
6. No, wait, sorry. I'm looking at Seattle's. Huh.
I've got an extra 6th rounder from Arizona, an extra 7th rounder from Montreal, and I'm missing my 4th.
Yep. So 8 picks. Is there anyone else?
I'm going to throw Wu in for 1 game in place of Cotton. See how he does.
You might want to offer, look at your upcoming free agents.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Pelletier. I'm not going to re-sign Foligno after how far downhill he's gone.
No, but Pelletier you probably want to.
Yeah. And I should do it before he
really goes off.
Yeah, he's been reasonably productive this year. $2 million a year for 3 years for a 22-year-old. That's that's worth it. I'll see if I can get him down a little bit, just under $2 million. Nope, he wants just over, so we'll give him that. And anybody else? I'll turn the auto qualify on a couple of these guys for now, just so I don't forget about them. And
Nico Sturm?
That's a tough one. He's making? Oh yeah, I got him super cheap, didn't I? I mean, solid second or solid like third line, even fourth liner. He's actually produced pretty well considering I've been barely giving him many minutes. 10 minutes, had 32 points last year on 10 minutes a game. Let's see what he wants. If it's over 2, it's probably a no. 1.7 for 3. Will he take it for 2? He's insisting on 3, and I would have to come up to get him to take 2. What if I...
You look at moving him.
Come down to 1.6 for 3 years? I'm going to do that. Cheap enough, and I'm going to be saving a little bit of money this year when Foligno's contract goes, and we'll have younger guys coming up. Do we have any big contracts coming? Oh, Pedersen's got, yeah. I'm paying Pedersen a lot more next year, but no huge changes in the salary levels next year other than Pedersen. Yeah, I think we're okay to do those. And Demko picks up the 3-0 shutout against New Jersey. Getting close to the hour here, but I'm going to take a quick look at our scoring stats. Okay, Pelche and Sturm both signing. Okay. Wow, Lundqvist, we got from the Rangers in the offseason, second leading scorer on the team. That's a surprise. Lambert is 4th overall. He's actually ahead of Pedersen.
Nice. Perfect.
What's going, well, good for him, but what's going on with Pedersen? He's hurt for a couple of games, but he should be doing more than that. Sorting by the game ratings, okay, Pedersen's doing a little better if you look at it that way. Bourgeois, in those 6 games we had him up, had 6 points. That's promising for next year. He'll probably be on the roster next season. And I'm going to have a quick look at Abbotsford while I'm doing this. And nobody really standing out. And I can see on the goalies, Silovs and Eliasson. Silovs looks like he's got more potential. Eliasson seems to be the starter now, but none of them putting up big numbers. Have actually gone backwards a little bit from last year. So it doesn't look like we're going to get a goalie emerging out of that. Well, we may get one, but it'll be a backup type. Get one more game in here. But yeah, it hasn't been, well, bad December and then inconsistent January. But somehow, because the rest of the division is bad, we're still in 3rd place.
Jeff, I got a question here on our Steam page.
Yep, shoot.
I might have missed a little bit early, but Thornley asks, any chance on a playoff sale soon?
Very good chance. If you look at the dates we did it last year, that would probably be a pretty good indication as to when you can expect it to happen this year. The problem is with Steam, we can only they only let you do a sale for 2 weeks at a time, so we can't do it for the whole playoffs. So we got to sort of pick the spot exactly where we want it.
If we decide to do one this year.
I think that's probably a safe bet. Yeah, I'm giving Peters plenty of ice time. Is he not? Oh, why is he not getting power? Well, his second unit power play. No. Okay, try that against the Leafs and see if he does anything. No, he doesn't, but we win 4-1. Morgan Frost gets a couple of points. Yeah, Pettersson had a goal. Okay, game. So yeah, maybe if we can get him going now. I'll just advance this up to the next game and then we'll wrap it up. But if we can get him going, I think we've got a decent shot at the playoffs this year, even if it's only because the other half of the division is kind of mediocre once you get behind past the Oilers and the Kings.
I mean, that's kind of how the Pacific looks nowadays, isn't it?
Well, aside Calgary being at the bottom of the league in this one, they've actually fallen behind Arizona. Wonder what went wrong there. I'm just curious. I'm going to take a quick look when we get through the sim. Hellebuck leading the lead in goals against average. But the Jets are now back in 5th place. And we're actually tied with them total points in the Kraken wave Jared McCann, but he's only 2.5 stars at this point, and he's got a big contract, so that's probably a no. Oh, and Capobianco looks like he's finally recovering from the injury we had at the start of the stream. What's gone wrong with Calgary here? Still got Markstrom in goal. He looks pretty good. We dumped Ekman Larson on him. That probably didn't help because they've got that big contract for a 3-star defenseman. Lucic is still playing, 35. Although he did go down.
He's still on contract, or is he on a new contract? Oh, he's on a new contract.
They gave him $3.3 million for 2 years. Well, that's starting to explain why Calgary's struggling a little bit.
Who's their GM?
Still Treliving.
Man, they got Savoy too.
Yeah, it's his rookie year. He's doing okay-ish. Looks like he didn't do too well in WHL in his last season there.
59 points in 62 games.
And part of this is, I think we had Calgary underrated a little bit at the start of the year in the version of the database that we started this game with. That's probably not helping him any, but still. Okay, so we are finishing this up we're tied with San Jose. They've got a game in hand for 3rd in the division. And we're kind of in the middle. I can look it up. 17th overall in the league. So we're right in the middle. Could be better, could be worse. But we're still probably at least a year or two, well, hopefully a year away from being a contender.
Fair enough.
That's slow but slow. I should check one thing. Job security is down into orange. Fans aren't incredibly happy either.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that may be a problem. Hopefully not. But we will find out next time, I guess.
Things to be scared of.
Yep.
So you want me to do the wrap-up? Is that what you're telling me?
That's what I'm telling you.
All right. Thank you very much for tuning into another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. We typically stream every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/franchise hockey manager, as well as twitch.tv/OOTP developments. We also stream every other week on our Steam page as well. You can reach out to us. I mean, I forgot part already. Man, it's been a long week already, Jeff. All of our streams are archived on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/OOTP Developments. Our stream archives go live on Sundays at about 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Why? Just for European viewers, so they have something to watch on a nice Sunday morning, afternoon. You can reach out to us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/franchise hockey manager. On Twitter, we're at franchise hockey. We can also find a link to our official Discord in our Twitter bio. And of course, you can come on down to our official website, which is ootpdevelopments.com. Click on the community button in the top right-hand corner, which will bring you to our official forums. We can come talk about Franchise Hockey Manager 8, Out of the Park Baseball 23, the recently released Perfect Team mode for it, Out of the Park Go, or anything else you wish to discuss. Jeff, did I miss anything?
No, I don't think so. Just took a quick look at the rookie scoring leaders this year. Not surprisingly, Connor Bedard is first overall, but Lambert is number 2 overall and the goal scoring leader for rookies, and he's doing it with significantly, maybe 2/3 the ice time that Bedard's getting. Bedard's getting 17.5 minutes a game. Lambert's not even getting 12, so actually fairly happy with him. Finally, and he looks. And I don't think he had 2.5 stars at the start of this. He's up to that now. So good news from
Who was that? Sorry,
that was Lambert, our first round pick a couple of years ago.
he was at 2.5 stars at the beginning of this, or
He was
not
I
very
thought
far
he was
into the
only
stream
2.
at least.
Oh, it's the consensus is still saying 2 stars. Okay. But anyhow, he's producing. That's the main thing. So that's working out well. Still working on. We had, if you didn't see it, we had a hot fix out earlier in the week. Or no, was that? Did we do
Jeff,
that?
I've lost all sense of time.
Yeah,
I
I've
think it was
lost.
late
Yeah,
last week.
yeah, we did. We did do a hot fix to get a couple. There was a few outstanding issues with. After the previous hotfix of the final update that we wanted to get cleared up, didn't want to leave them hanging. So if you haven't picked that up yet, you may want to update the game.
April 28th, which was last week.
That's right. So at this point, we're pretty much working on FHM 9. That's coming along well. Got a few things done this week. Got a new design off for something injury related. I think people will be happy with next year. And we'll probably talk about that more later in the summer. But everything moving along nicely at this point. So I think we will be back next week with Adam's. What were we going to say?
I was going to say, there's your secret peek on game development. You finish one game and you immediately start the next.
We'll be back next week with Adam's early 90s Jets game, which has turned into the Calgary Flames dynasty game somehow. They've won 4 cups in a row after they started with one real one, the actual historical cup they won, and then now they've won 3 in a row since then. So somehow we're on the verge of having an all-time great Calgary Flames dynasty.
Which we're trying to break. We'll see.
But we seem to keep losing them in the playoffs, so that may have something to do with it. But that will be next week. Right. We'll be back with that game. So thank you for coming out, and we will see everybody then.